Welcome into episode 5 of the Ozarks Gambling Gurus.
Hey guys.
What's up, guys?
Fill out our music here a little bit there. Guys, how you doing?
Great.
Good. How you doing, Scott?
I'm doing great, thanks. Yeah, we won't get too much into it, but a rough day for America today with the tragic assassination of Charlie Kirk. I know, Murph, you were a big fan and said you've had a rough day today so far with it.
Yeah, I'll keep my mouth shut on the podcast tonight.
Yeah. Probably, a lot of opinions out there. Social media right now is a cesspool, both, bickering and fighting and everything else. And we'll just see. Hopefully they catch the assassin and he or she is justly punished. But
the only thing I'll say is I hope at some point as a nation, we finally hit rock bottom and we can start working our way back up.
I completely agree. Yeah, it's we're definitely at the bottom right now, I think, with things going on. So, but you know what? When you're down, gamble, right?
That's right.
Yeah, that's how you gamble your way out of it. And we're going to talk to about 9:15. We've mentioned in the past Grant Givens, who's one of the rising young poker players in the area. Murph, you've been at the table with him a time or two, haven't you?
Played a few times with him. Great kid.
Yeah, we're going to have Grant come on. I think Grant's probably 21, 22 now, probably. And, has been, and he still goes to Drury University, played basketball there for 3 years, not playing anymore, but he's spent a lot of time burning up the I-44 track there, going back and forth and doing very well at it. So we'll kind of talk with Grant about his generation and what they play and what they like to do at the casinos and get into that. And so, quiet weekend in terms of activity from you two casino guys. Nobody went, correct?
Well, I was too busy Sunday adding up my points for my fantasy league.
Yes, yeah.
Let's not talk about that.
Yeah, their little side bet, if you watched last week, between Murph and Danny Handpay, or as he says today, Dan, the fantasy week 1 champ. And Dan did beat Murph in the head-to-head.
Got my ass handed to me.
Yeah, you did. And when it's all said and done, I think Dan was number 1 in points for the week. I was number 2. I'm in too many leagues. This is not one of my better teams. And it just shows in fantasy football any week. You have no idea what's going to happen, who's going to go off, who's going to get hurt. All those games we talked about last week that were, the over-unders were low in the mid-40s or lower. And what I say that the lowest over-under game in like 25 years in week 1, the Jets and the Steelers, was the second highest scoring game, I think, of the weekend. So
right,
go figure. And but we'll talk more about the NFL, college from last weekend. Look at some games this week. You guys, after a 1 weekend hiatus from the casinos, are heading out this weekend, right?
I think I'm going to. Last weekend, yesterday, I welcomed a third granddaughter to the
Congratulations,
Murphin Club. So I've been busy with that this week, but I think I'm going to try to scoot down this weekend. There's a blackjack tournament at downstream this weekend, so might hit that.
Okay, Dan?
Yeah, I'm going to go down to Indigo Sky Saturday. I haven't been down there for a while, and got a call, and my host down there is a great guy, Travis, and so yeah, I'm looking forward to go down and eat at the new restaurant and play a little bit.
Well, and I think you'll have a meal at the Red Oak Steakhouse at downstream coming too,
Yeah.
right, Dan?
I appreciate that, Randy. I kind of got that in my back pocket. And
anytime.
Hey, I did call though. Those aged ribeyes that are like $109. Those are going to be there for a while. So
they're not out of those.
No.
I saw the estimated cost of that meal, and wow, it pays to be a whale where you don't actually have to pay the cash for that, doesn't it, Dan?
It is great food though. I will say.
Yeah,
that.
It is good. Red Oak's great. Yeah.
What's your go-to steak there?
I get the aged filet, a ribeye.
Best side. What's the best side?
The truffle corn, is it?
That the corn is real
truffle corn,
yeah.
good.
And I always get a wedge salad to start with, and yeah, it's great.
French onion soup's a good starter. It's good.
Yeah.
Better than the buffet?
Oh, no comparison.
Yeah, I haven't been to the buffet in 10 years.
We did the buffet one time, and I'll just say it's a buffet.
Yeah.
I mean, you know that when you go in, and especially if it's all you can eat crab legs night, it brings the people out of the woodwork, doesn't it?
Yeah, and I don't think it's as good as it used to be. I mean, that's just my opinion, but
yeah,
I think that Red Oak has really kept their quality up. There's a couple of machines I play right by their entrance. I'm really impressed with the guy that's kind of the manager there, and the ladies that work there. They're just super nice to their guests, and it's a great place to eat.
We're big fans of the sports bar, and I think it's a lot of the same burger meat and things like that they use over there. But the cheese curds are a favorite among the Purriers in the
Legends is better than the buffet by far. I like Legends.
Yeah,
good wings.
Dan, you had an interesting slot story to tell. Share that one with our viewers.
2024, a lady at Bally's Casino in Atlantic City hit a $1.25 million jackpot that had a 2 times multiplier on it. So it brings up $2.5 million. Of course, she is excited, calls people, and they gather around. And after several minutes, they say it was a machine malfunction and they were not going to pay her the jackpot. They offered her a steak dinner and her $2.25 bet back. About 3 months later, she sued them. It's kind of gone through the court system. And this week, Bally's has been requested by the courts. They had 30 days to respond as to exactly why they refused to pay. They said they opened the machine up and it had a tilt sign come up that voided all payouts. The casino later came back to her and offered her her steak dinner, her bet back, and $350 cash, and she, of course, turned that down. And I'll let you know what they decide. I think in past cases, the courts usually, almost always, side with the casinos in these kinds of situations.
And why is that?
Well, on any machine you play, somewhere it'll say malfunction voids all results.
Jackpots,
all jackpots.
So I've been on a machine, Dan, that we set down and maybe you bump it with your leg and it'll reset.
Yeah,
because I assume that's what happened. So
Yeah.
what are we supposed to do? Quit playing that machine, cash out, and move on?
yeah. I mean, that's I don't know. I mean, it'll be.
I guess we're not going to hit 1 million. I mean, but we could hit a big $4,000 jackpot. They'll give that away though.
Yeah.
What's the biggest potential possible jackpot at Downstream and Indigo Sky that you see on the machines? Because I didn't know there were machines that would pay out that much.
Well, on
Buffalo,
some big ones, those are connected to multiple Indian casinos. Maybe 20 some casinos, and so occasionally you'll see those like $1.5 million or higher.
Wow.
And at least one at Indigo, and at least one I know of that at Downstream that's hit for over $1 million.
Yep.
Man, and I guess you say that they can claim malfunction or tilt. How often does that happen? Because they're dealing with a PR problem if they do it too many times, aren't they?
My knowledge, that's on any big jackpot. I've never heard of that happening at any of our local casinos.
Right.
What do you think Downstream takes in on a Friday and a Saturday night?
Oh gosh, I
not just from Murphin, but from everybody.
I mean,
they're both big numbers.
Do they make $500,000 a night? What? I don't know who can answer that.
I would think so. I would think it would have to be in the millions.
So
I have no idea.
Yeah, it'd be a big number.
So it's probably in their best interest, even in this case, to just pay the lady,
Right.
And move on and reap the benefits of, hey, we're the place where you can win $2.5 million, because that's probably even at those large casinos like that, that's probably a day or two what they take in, maybe.
Now, unless there really is something that, we've talked about, people get mad, start banging and hitting the machines. So, I mean, if they can show, and once they open up that machine, it'll give them some clues as to how that tilt happened, probably.
Are they filming every crack and crevice and area in that casino? Like in that case, if that happened at Downstream or Indigo Sky, could they see, they'd have on film somebody hitting a slot?
Any table spot you're at, they can see what you're doing.
The whole gaming floor, pit, everything's covered with a camera some way.
Every slot machine, there's an angle somewhere that's capturing it.
I think so, yes.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, and because, I mean, if somebody did it, then that's all the attorney needs to see to back off the case, right?
Yeah.
I would think so.
Yeah. So you said blackjack tournament, Murph. How does that work?
Blackjack tournament, it's usually a free entry. It's kind of like a slot tournament. There's a number of people that have different flights. They'll probably have 10 to 15 blackjack tables set up, and you go through rounds, and you get your seat draw, your table draw of 6 other people. And in the first round, you have to, I think you start with maybe 10,000 in chips, and you're dealt, I think they deal 10 hands. And so the top 2 money winners off of round 1 advance to round 2. So you got to finish 1-2 on your first table to get to the second round. And then second round, you've got to win your table to get to the next round. And that's where I've gotten. I haven't made it any further than that, but I believe you win 2 more times, you win the whole thing. Maybe you get into the money after you win 2 tables, I think. But it's a free entry, and I think it's like $7,500 for first. So it's a good free roll.
So free entry, I mean, don't people line up to play in those if it doesn't cost them anything?
It's an invite. You got to be invited. So yeah, it costs you nothing. If you get the invite, they call you and they're like, "Do you want us to put you down?" There's usually quite a few people in those. Have you played, Dan, in blackjack?
I've done the slot tournaments. I've never played in the blackjack one.
Yeah, they won't let me play slot tournaments anymore. I don't know why. So I guess I just get to do blackjack. That's where Dan and I met a few years ago, or met back up.
Well, outside of the ISS room at Ozarks back in the 80s,
True.
right? It is so, I mean, if they invite 25 people, are they just going down their list of their best customers and
I'm not I really don't know, because I'll play, I'll do my drive-by on blackjack occasionally, but I've been to Indigo more maybe in the last 3 months. So I don't know if it's just because I've played big hands at Downstream that I'm on the list, or if I'm sure there's a lot of people that go down there and grind blackjack for hours. They're on the list. So I guess it's just like anything, like slots. However, your money in, money out get you in there.
Well, and of course, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Dan.
The slots tournament, they usually have at each level of card, they have a tournament for that group. So, like at the 3rd level, they'll invite all of them for a slot tournament, and then like the next level up, they'll invite all of them. So they kind of do it in at least 3 different levels for some of their players.
Okay,
right.
Well, I think our guest is with us. We're going to add him to our set here. A guy who doesn't understand yet. Maybe he is starting to get those mailers and the calls from the hosts and all that. But Grant Givens has joined us. Grant, do you have a host yet at Downstream?
I don't. A couple of my friends do, and I'm jealous. They kind of treat the poker players like crap down there. That they don't really care about us.
They do not. That is correct.
I can see this being a Murph and Grant session here, Dan.
No, they don't care about us at all, and it's totally bogus, man.
It is. We can sit here and bitch about them all show.
Poker persecution. Here it comes, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. I hear Indigo's doing a little something in regards to like free rooms if you play a certain amount of hours. So that's kind of a new thing. That's good.
Right. I have a good host at Indigo, so I usually don't worry about it. But yeah, and their bad beats bigger over there at Indigo, so that'll keep them coming.
Well, as we mentioned, Grant is local poker sensation, we can call him now. I see he's got endorsement deals and things like that. Those are starting to build. Glendale High School graduate, Drury University student, played basketball the last 3 years at Drury. Looks like you're kind of focusing on your poker career right now in terms of outside the education. Is that correct, Grant?
Yeah, I would say school and poker equally.
Okay.
I want to wrap up the degree, get finished up with school, but I'm taking poker very seriously as well.
And as soon as your mom drops off, we'll go back and correct the education thing. That was for her, wasn't it?
Okay. Yeah.
Well, we want to bring you on and talk about kind of how you get into this. And we were talking last week that if you go to either Downstream or even Indigo Sky, really more Downstream, you look around and there's just a ton of 18, 19, 20, 21-year-old, mostly males there, quite a few females too, but it's like an invasion. And kind of talk about when you guys all turn 18, is that kind of the thing that, okay, now I can go to Downstream? And is that how you got your start in the poker side, or kind of take us down that path?
Yeah, I mean, I got started out in poker like junior year of high school, going over to a buddy's house, buying in for $5. That's how I got started. I bought in, first time I ever played, had no clue what I was doing, bought in for $5 in quarters, ended up winning like $25. So I was hooked immediately, loved it. And from there, I just kind of started watching YouTube videos, really getting into it, kind of realizing the game is a lot more than just gambling. And, I fell in love with it. And I think why poker has made such a resurgence nowadays is just because, everybody's hooked to their phones nowadays. There's not a whole lot of social interaction. I feel like poker just kind of drops you back in the era where, nobody's got phones. People are just sitting around having a good time. Obviously, it depends on where you are, the table you're playing, but I just feel like poker, especially now in the age of cell phones, is more important than ever.
What was that first trip to Downstream like for you? Do you remember that at 18?
Of course. First trip to Downstream, walk into the poker room. I have never bought in $300 in my life. I sit down, and after about 2 to 3 hours, I was up $1,000. Could not believe it. I had never even seen that much cash in my life. And I was with my friends for my 18th birthday, so we were having some fun, and we go out to the roulette wheel, and somehow I hit like 5 out of 6, just betting the colors. I ended up winning like almost $2K on the night, and that's kind of how I got started.
And
that's standard for the newbies.
Of course, beginner's luck is a completely real thing. I don't care what anybody says.
100% real.
And almost every 18-year-old, my daughter, Abby, same thing, went and won $300 her first night at slots down at Indigo and said, hey, this is easy. And then we try to tell her it's not easy. Just look around at the towers and the restaurants and all that.
Yeah.
They're here because it's not easy. And so did you, when you went down there, and when you do go there now, are you primarily poker or do you play other things?
Yeah, I try to stay as disciplined as I can. When I go down there, it truly is like a business trip. I'm in Springfield, so it's about an hour down there, a little over an hour. So, I typically stay down there. When I play for a long time. But my goal is to just walk right by the pits. Don't even look at them. They're not getting any of my money. That is my goal every time. Sometimes I fall short of that goal, but for the majority of the time, I'm just there to play cards, play poker.
Dan, this has almost got to be like Yoda and Daniel's, or Mr. Miyagi and Daniel's son here with Murph,
It does. Hey, Grant.
Murph's reliving his 20. How old are you, Grant? 22 now? 23?
I turned 22 on Sunday.
So. Okay.
22.
Hey, Grant and Randy, I have a question for both of you.
Okay.
Grant, walk into a poker room and there's guys like Randy at the table. Does that give you a little more incentive to show the older guys that you know how to play? And Randy, when you see a young gun like Grant, you think, okay, let's show this kid what it's really like.
You want to go first, Grant, or do you want me to?
You go ahead. You go ahead.
Nowadays, probably 10. I kind of when Downstream started, 2008, 2010. The young kids there were internet pros, so you kind of had to be a little keep your eye on them. They kind of knew what was going on. But now with internet poker, I mean, not many people play that, but you have YouTube and these kids. If a young kid comes in, you're going to know probably in the first hour you're playing with them if they know what they're doing, or if they turned 18 and they're like, I want to play poker for the first time. So it's kind of easy to spot.
Grant?
For me, I never try to play ego poker. I'm never trying to show somebody how good I am or what I can do, how much money I have. That's just kind of how you lose a lot of money. So when I see a player like Randy at the table, first of all, specifically Randy, I know it's going to be a fun table. He's going to be drinking. He's going to be, he's not a bad player by any means, but his energy, he just brings a fun energy to the table, and it loosens the table up. It makes it a lot more fun to play.
And soon there'll be a Grant drink at Downstream, like the Murph.
Yeah, he's always got the Murphs coming. I mean, 11 a.m. and past, it's just Murphs galore.
Didn't I offer to buy you one when you were 18? So I owe you one, don't I? I owe you a couple, probably.
I definitely need one. Yeah.
Grant, how were you accepted when you first started going into the poker room? Did you feel like they were, treating you with respect and not like just some kid that wandered in?
I mean, I've kind of become a regular there in the last year, I would say. You do kind of have to earn the respect, but there's also a lot of benefits that comes with players thinking that you're just some kid with, your parents' credit card. There's a lot. I feel like that can be a good image to have because they think that you're just bluffing or you're just spending money that you don't have.
Or you just watch the World Series and you're going to make a move on somebody.
Yeah.
What's tell us the biggest events you've been in so far, and the most successful ones to date.
Mm-hmm. Well, in regards to tournaments, I'm pretty underskilled at those. I haven't really ran deep in many. My YouTube channel blew up from me playing an online tournament. I streamed it all the way through. It was a $530 buy-in. And I ended up getting second for 10,000, and that kind of made my channel do pretty well in a short amount of time. But in regards to in-person tournaments, still haven't really done well yet. I'm going to play the World Series of Poker circuit in Council Bluffs, Iowa, right on the border of Omaha this weekend for my birthday. So that's going to be really exciting. But in regards to cash games, it took me a while to kind of get it all figured out, but eventually, cash is kind of where my money's at when it comes to poker. And there is a big difference between cash game poker and tournament poker, and we can talk about that if you want, but I'm definitely more of a cash game player.
Yeah,
and I've had a lot of good experience. So in cash games, all the chips are equivalent to US dollars. So you've got your $1 chips, your $5 chips, your $25 chips. And so in that game, you're playing with your real money. You have to load on money when you want to put more money on the table. But in tournaments, everybody buys in for the same amount. They get the same amount of chips, and then the blinds slowly go up. And then you want to get in like the top 20 in order to make money. And first place wins like 30% of the prize pool.
Murph, does that all sound correct to you?
Yeah, sounds pretty legit. Yeah, tournaments, they're a different beast than cash. I mean, if you bink one of those, if you get on a hot run and catch cards, and that can set you up for a while. If you going to the World Series like Grant's doing this weekend, if he pops one of those, probably a $400 buy-in, a deep stack maybe. What do you have?
Yeah, I'm gonna play the main event, so okay. That's gonna be a $1,700 buy-in. First place is gonna be 80 to 100 grand.
Yeah, about 120 grand maybe in that one. So
yeah, it'll be the biggest tournament I've ever played. So I'm just doing it for my birthday weekend, gonna have some fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
If somebody has no idea about this stuff, if you win one like that, what doors does that open up? I mean, are you going to have jackets with 10 sponsors like a NASCAR or a Bass Fishing Vest on there when you're on TV next time? Or I know you got an endorsement deal. Tell us about that product and how that came about. But first, what does that open up if you win something like that besides a whole pile of cash?
Well, for starters, this specific tournament that I'm about to play in, not only do you win somewhere from 80 to 100,000. They don't really know how many people have entered yet, but you also get a ticket to the main event at the end of the year, like the WSOP end of the year event in Atlantis, the Bahamas. So that'd be really cool. But as far as what winning a tournament like that would do for you, I mean, it kind of depends on your media presence, how you put yourself out there. You know, there's some people that win and, you know, they just play poker for fun, but the people that take poker seriously, and, you know, especially for me making poker content on YouTube, that would open up a ton of opportunities for me.
What's that channel? YouTube channel?
G-Ski. That is my YouTube channel. Geeski.
Okay.
G-Ski 2 Easy is what the @ is.
G-Ski 2 Easy.
Yep. And basically, I just I stream. I recently went down to Austin and played on a live stream and absolutely killed it down there, and that also helped gain some traction on my channel.
When you and what was the sponsorship deal I saw on Twitter that you got? Is it digestive gum, or tell us about that and how it came about? Yeah, so it's a mastic resin gum, which is basically just it's gum that comes from it's sap that comes from a tree in Greece specifically, and it's like little tiny pieces of gum, and you pop it in your mouth, you suck on it for a little bit, and then you kind of start chewing it, and it's a hard, tough gum. And it has a lot of digestive benefits. It also is good for like building your jaw muscles, because like a lot of the food we eat nowadays, it's very processed. You don't have to chew your food very much, and people are kind of getting softer faces. You know, if you chew hard gum for 45 minutes every couple of days, I mean, you're gonna get. I'm not quite there yet. I've only got one pack in, but
you're not all chiseled like Dan and I.
I'm not chiseled like you guys.
That's right. Yeah.
But that's kind of the point of the product. I really enjoy it.
Do you use that when you play?
Yeah, I do. It honestly, like, it's stimulating, just kind of chewing. It kind of, I don't know what it is, but it just kind of frees up the mind. I mean, that's just for me personally. I'm a big like stimulating guy. I don't know, something about just chewing.
Yeah,
that could be a tell if you're chewing too hard.
Could be, yeah, true.
Oh, so like you may need sunglasses or a mask, like a COVID mask.
Yeah, you don't want to accidentally choke on your gum either. People might.
Yeah. How did that come about? I'm curious. How did that endorsement deal come about?
Yeah, I just really liked the product. I was impressed by the first batch that I ordered, so I reached out to them and I was like, "Hey, here's my channel. I really like your guys' product. Would like to work on some kind of deal," and they were all for it. So it just was kind of worked out like that.
How many followers do you have on your channel?
Currently, I've got 25,300.
Nice.
Hey, can you put us on your channel instead?
Yeah, I'm going to make this a YouTube video. So
awesome.
Awesome. I'm live streaming this right now. I've got 7 people watching right now.
So do you wish you would have started this whole thing earlier? Now, I mean, the competitive poker, or I mean, looking back.
Yeah, I think it all worked out perfectly. You know, you really, to be able to play poker at a competitive level, you have to be 21, and I've been 21 for a year now. Mm-hmm. And I've played college basketball the last 3 years, and that's just a full-time job. So it definitely wouldn't have been. I mean, poker was still a hobby of mine that I took very seriously, and that's still kind of what I consider it now. Back whenever I played basketball, but I wasn't able to do any of really the fun stuff of like traveling and all that.
You know, I mean, it'd be a lot easier to do the dual life you're living now if you transferred to UNLV, wouldn't it, than finishing at Drury?
Oh yeah, I don't know about that Vegas life though. It's kind of just dirty out there.
Whew, that's a tough life out there.
Yeah.
Do you do anything else besides the poker? I mean, do you like to play slots or blackjack? Are there times that you go and you just say, I'm going to take a night, you know, like Murph will do what he calls drive-bys at the blackjack and slots. Do you do that at all or not?
I typically, if I'm going to indulge in like roulette or blackjack, I stay away from the slots. I really do not like the slots. I know some people are big on like the progressive slots, but that's just not for me. But if I'm with like a group of friends and we're just drinking and having a good night, I'm for sure going to play some blackjack. No doubt about that.
About sports betting, you do any of that?
Occasionally, I really need to not do that, but
Well, I'm just going to tell you, it's inherited. From your dad, basically the lack of success in that world and stuff too. So maybe you'll overcome that, but it's going to be an uphill challenge for you.
Sports
absolutely.
betting is like blackjack on crack. That's what sports betting is.
And we asked Murph this a couple weeks ago, I think, talking about the thing about poker that's kind of cool is, like if a 21-year-old Grant Givens is sitting at a table with how old are you, Murph, now?
55.
55-year-old Randy Murphin.
Yeah.
There's not really an advantage, is there, with experience, as long as you've been playing enough to feel like you are confident enough to win, correct? Or does a guy like him have experience and have an edge when you sit at a table with the old guys?
Honestly, I would say for most players, the old guys do have an advantage, and that's for two reasons mainly. One being the experience. They've played cards for a long time. They've been in a lot of different positions. They know what good poker looks like, what bad poker looks like. But also just bankroll. Kids my age don't have a bankroll to play 1-2 poker. Like I would say 90% of people my age don't have a bankroll to play 1-2 like very frequently. So I would say for the most part, the older guys have the advantage, but it's my opinion that nobody in the state of Missouri has played more poker than I have at the age of 21 years old. So when I sit down, I'm feeling really confident. I don't care if somebody's 70. I don't care if somebody is 18.
Interesting. What are you getting your degree in, and has this changed your career path at all and what you want to do?
Yeah, so I'm majoring in political science and minoring in business and communications. I think all of those fields just kind of fit very nicely into what I'm good at and what I want to do in the future. Honestly, this hasn't really changed anything for me. I'm still interested in I'm very interested in politics. I don't know what I want to do with that yet, but I can see myself getting in that arena at some point, but maybe later in life. But I'm also interested in owning a business. I'm really passionate about poker. I think that it would be really beneficial for Missouri to get some kind of card house. So that's kind of one of my long-term goals that I've been set on for a while. I think that I have the drive to do it, the experience. I just need some experience actually working at a card house, but that's kind of what I want to do.
Murph, you want to invest?
Absolutely. They tried it. A buddy of mine tried, I guess, 5 years ago, the clubhouse, and they ran it just like the Texas card houses do. But I don't know if I really shouldn't comment. I don't know.
It didn't end well. I don't think
it didn't end well. Yeah, I think I was on the undercover cam, blurred out whenever KY3 took a camera in there one night. I saw myself on television. I was like, uh-oh. Next day it was closed down.
Yeah, with how liberal everything is getting just across the whole country, I can't believe that we can't play poker in just like a civilized poker environment. Doesn't really make any sense to me.
Oh, preach it. I've been saying that for 30 years.
I think it's coming.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Grant, and I've got a son your age, a year younger. He plays with his buddies. Is this a wave of young guys now that are getting into poker? Like when they turn 18, that's what they're ready to go do and go play?
Yeah, I mean, guys just like being in social environments, and guys like gambling. So I don't really see how, I think poker is just an overall good thing for people, straight up.
Should settle wars that way over a poker table.
I mean, yeah, that might start a couple more wars, but
that's a slow roll Germany or something.
I mean, as far as young people in poker, I love to see it, and
I do too.
Yeah, it's good to see.
Yeah.
Well, you're going to Iowa, or they're the Nebraska-Iowa line this weekend, correct? When does that start?
Yeah, so the World Series of Poker, they do these little circuits where they kind of travel around the country and set up shop in a casino for about 7 weeks and run anywhere from $200 tournaments all the way up to their main event, which this year I think it is $1,700. So tomorrow after school, I'm going to be heading up to Omaha, Nebraska. I'm staying with my grandma. Shout out grandma. and the World Series of Poker is being held in the Horseshoe in Council Bluffs. So that's where I will be on Friday and Saturday. So there's 2 different flights, which are basically starting days that you can play on Friday and Saturday. And if you're the top 15% on Friday and Saturday, you make it to Sunday. And then on Sunday, you play all the way down to, there's 1 table left, 9 people, and then those people come back on Monday and play
The final table.
Yeah, the final table.
I got it, Dan. I don't know if you know this either, but what happens when one of you guys has got to go pee? What do you guys do?
Well, you know what? In tournaments, that's one of my big gripes with tournaments is that, like, you know, cash game, you can get up whenever you want and leave, and you're not going to be losing money. But in a tournament, if you like, the game doesn't stop until there's like, you play for like 2 hours, and then there's like a 15-minute break. So you gotta hold it. That's unless you want to just, you can leave, but you're going to be missing hands. You might miss your pay your big line and not even get your cards.
Leave
So
right
I would
after the
always just
button.
recommend
Leave
holding
after the
first.
button. Yeah, leave after the button passes.
I hate leaving in the middle of tournaments though, because it's like you're
Yeah.
missing out on the cards that you like paid your blinds for. But I'm just like weird like that.
Well, hey, we appreciate you jumping on with us. What's the name of that YouTube channel again?
Yeah, so it's G-Ski, and then the @ on YouTube is G-Ski2 Easy, just easy. G-Ski2 Easy.
We'll go check that out, and hopefully we'll put that on our Facebook page too. And
yeah, I really appreciate that.
Yeah,
I think I follow you already, don't I, Grant?
Yeah, I think I made you subscribe at gunpoint at the casino like a month.
You did. I did it.
Well, we'll be looking for the Grant, the drink down at Downstream, coming to a table near you.
Yeah, coming soon.
Yeah, all right. Well, hey, thanks a lot, and best of luck this weekend, okay?
Absolutely appreciate you guys letting me come on.
You betcha. We'll have you back again, okay?
Absolutely, would love that. See you guys.
Thanks, Grant.
See you, Grant.
Grant Givens. He's kind of got it figured out.
Kid's got his shit together. I like it.
Is that compare that to a 21-year-old Murph? What were you playing poker then?
Well, we didn't have all this technology then. Yeah, I was 21. I was in a casino. I didn't really pick up. Let's see, that would have been 91. So probably 97-ish. I got into poker. Rounders, I think, came out in 98, which kind of a little group took off from that, and then Chris Moneymaker won the World Series in 2003, 2002, whatever that was. So. But yeah, these kids, I mean, they're handy. They're entrepreneurs and influencers. So he should go. He's doing it. I like it.
25,000
with Randy.
We'll be there one day.
Is people talk about all this energy he brings and drinking, having fun. Unfortunately, he did the same thing in math and English class.
That didn't pay off as well, did it?
I learned just what I needed to from OHS.
There you go. Well, let's transition to the sports side, the sports betting. Some of the big games last week. Oklahoma did cover the 4-point spread against Michigan. I don't know if you guys watched that, but I was impressed. Brent Venables has not done a lot to impress me, but that defense and quarterback John Mateer are for real for the Sooners. So we'll know more when they play Texas here in about 3 weeks or 4 weeks, but as is usually the case. What's that?
I said that was a great win for Oklahoma.
Oh, it was. Yep. And you know what? It was they had probably, I think I read they had probably 75 recruits there. So, I mean, that was just such a pivotal win in that regard, bringing kids in and seeing the what they believe OU's back and see if they can, get some of those kids to flip on their commitments and stuff too. Missouri State, big win at Marshall. They go over there and win 21-20. Marshall is, from what I did my interview with Art Haynes this morning, and Art said it's one of the top 5 toughest places in Division I to go win. So I guess they have a really good home record. And so Ramon Green from Nixa had a big game, 4 catches, 123 yards, and the game-winning TD. So good to see that. And of course, that leads into this Saturday. The Bears are home with SMU, which was ranked, I believe, 16th. And then they blew a 2-touchdown lead in the fourth quarter against Baylor. and lost 48-45. So in overtime. So they're not going to be real thrilled coming to Plaster Stadium.
They will not be happy.
No. And it was one of those that, like Art said, you almost wish SMU would have won this past Saturday. So maybe they come in and kind of overlook the Bears a little bit, but they're going to be, I would imagine, pretty focused. So, and again, I just wanted to say, from what I understand, they're closing in on selling out the 17,000 seats. I think there was less than 1,000 tickets left. And
Good.
Special shout out to Art Haynes. This will be his last broadcast in a career that spans back to 1975 in the Ozarks when he started here, and
Wow.
just the ultimate consummate professional, and sports talk for years and years was the source for anything you need to know that was going on in the area. So probably a pretty emotional moment I think they're going to recognize Art before the game, and of course those who've known him know that the battle he had with West Nile virus and how he's come back from that to still be able to call the Bears home games and stuff. So should be a special day over there. A very hot day. I think it's going to be 93 at kickoff. So that'll be a lot of fun. Yeah.
That's not football weather.
No.
Art Haynes is one of the best things about Springfield sports.
He is. And, if you did a Mount Rushmore, just automatically put Ned and Art up there.
Yep.
Two legends that both did it for about 5 decades, and Ned's still doing the radio in the morning. And I got to think of Dan Lucy. Dan Lucy kind of lays low. He's been on ever since I think that I remember being here,
Yep.
in the late 80s. So,
Yeah.
hats off to those guys. Mizzou rallied to beat Kansas. I watched a little bit of that. Kansas was up, I believe, 21-6 at one point. And Mizzou came back and beat them. Arkansas rolled over Arkansas State. Kind of a light week in the college game last week in terms of intriguing matchups there.
Did you hear about? Sorry to interrupt, Scott.
No.
The ref group at the Mizzou KU game.
Yeah.
They're suspended. They what was it? It was a penalty on a touchdown, and so the kickoff. They had a 15-yard penalty on the kickoff, and they allowed Mizzou to free kick it. None of them knew the rule that's not allowed, and so they all.
Yeah, and I think the rule is that at any kicks after a touchdown have to be off a tee.
Yep.
And you know how I feel about Drinkowitz. I mean, to challenge that, why? I mean, why? Now, I guarantee you there's a crew now that hopes they call them a zoo game sometime down the road. It'll be remember the Titans, flag.
I bet that crew's headed to Arrowhead at 3:25 Sunday.
Yeah, go watch the game. Yeah.
Oh no, they'll probably be wrapping it.
Oh yeah, there you go. College football this weekend, 11 a.m. games. Clemson is a 2.5-point favorite at Georgia Tech. That could be a decent one. Oklahoma 21.5 at Temple. Temple's 2-0. Brent Venables' history is OU will be in a tight one that entire time now after beating Michigan.
That's Ned's school, isn't it? Temple?
Yeah, it is. It is.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Here's a great one. What's that?
I said Ned and Bill Cosby.
Yeah. They don't like to be. Ned doesn't like to be mentioned in the same sentence.
One and the same.
Yeah. 2:30 kickoff. Georgia is a 3.5-point favorite at Tennessee. That ought to be a dandy. Missouri State is a 27.5-point underdog against SMU. Of course, last time we took the Bears and the points, 34.5 at USC. That didn't work out real well.
Doubled us up.
Yeah. Mizzou is a 27.5-point favorite at home against Louisiana. I don't know anything about Louisiana, but I know the Drinkwitz likes to score, and they'll put some points up, so I don't think that'll be a problem. 3:30 South Florida at Miami. Miami's a 17.5-point favorite. South Florida, number 17 in the poll now. What did they do last week? They beat Florida. And, they're trying to knock off their second straight in-state foe there and really make a name for themselves. Arkansas is at Ole Miss tomorrow night or Saturday night, 6 o'clock kickoff. Ole Miss is a 7.5-point favorite. That game has never gone really well for Arkansas. I think I went last year and it was like 59-13 at one point with Jackson Dart throwing TDs left and right. And then let's see any other college. Oh, Florida at LSU. LSU is a 7.5-point favorite. Florida coming off that South Florida loss. A&M, Texas A&M is at Notre Dame. Saturday night at 6:30. That's a 7.5-point favorite for the Irish, and then Vandy at South Carolina at 645. South Carolina 4.5-point favorite. So that's kind of your main games in the college world there. What would you guys do in that Missouri State SMU with all the emotion and crowd? Would you take the Bears and the points or not?
I've already got the Bears and the points. It's already
You
in
do?
a parlay. Yep.
Dan?
I think if SMU had won, I might be Bears. I think you got to go SMU.
The anger's going to come out.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, we talked about the fantasy weekend, and Danny first place, as he's known now, in the league. His victory. Of course, another week of fantasy football coming up, but actual NFL games last weekend. Chiefs fall to the Chargers. Murph, I know you took a lot of sorrow in that.
Looks like what did Sean Hare say? The revenge tour going to have to wait another week to start.
Yeah, and
okay.
Shout out to Travis Kelce for killing his own receiver with Xavier Worthy on that. My oldest son Marcus and I were arguing about who was out of control. If you watch the replay, Kelce's just kind of 260 pounds flying on, and Worthy's 160 and just like a bug.
I thought I thought the defender might have bumped him, but Kelce just ran right into him.
Yeah. And second year in a row, because if you remember, Patrick Mahomes took out Rashee Rice last year.
Yeah.
After the interception. So friendly fire is taking down the Chiefs receiving core. That is the Chiefs fell to the Chargers. Raiders, nice road win at New England. You had to be pleased with that.
Win. I was a little worried in the second quarter. I had visions of the previous years, but we kind of pulled it back up, pulled it together at halftime. And Geno, second in yards this last weekend with 340, 326, something like that. This next week, the LA game is going to be a tough one at home Monday night. So we get the Chargers.
You'll have to tell us about it Tuesday morning because that's a 9:00 kickoff. Our time.
Yeah, that's
late.
I think I can make it.
Yeah. The worst team in the NFL after week 1 is clearly the Miami Dolphins. They were awful at the Colts. Tua looked done. And then I think Tyreek Hill's got some more headlines that aren't good coming out this week.
Yep.
Yeah. I had two great games to finish off the weekend. The Sunday night game was one of the best I've ever seen with
Unreal.
Buffalo down 16 in the fourth quarter, comes back to beat the Ravens 41-40.
Almost turned it off.
What's that?
I said I almost turned it off. I was going to bed. I turned it on in the bedroom and getting ready to shut it off, and here they came.
It's going to make the Chiefs people mad, but I'll tell you, I think Josh Allen's the best quarterback in football.
He's good.
Yeah, just
he's
clutch.
up there.
Yeah, and Lamar, if Lamar could win a big game, he'd be right there too. But boy, he just has trouble finishing. And of course, in that one, it's Derrick Henry, that fumbles in the last few minutes, and it really costs him.
After he ran over everyone all game long.
Yep.
Wow,
yeah. And it was like a man among boys every time he'd touch it up until that point. So,
yeah.
And then Monday night, the Vikings came back. J.J. McCarthy looked terrible for 3 quarters.
Yep.
And then they come back and beat the Bears. Bears kind of locked up in that one a little bit after having an early lead.
Caleb Williams.
Yeah.
When does the I think they were booing the second half in Chicago.
And did you see him almost get DJ Moore killed with
yes.
My oldest son calls that a hospital ball. I guess that's the terminology now.
Yeah.
If they throw that pass up there and they go to catch it, they're going to the hospital. But DJ Moore got back up and actually played the next few plays too. So.
He's on my fantasy team. I needed 97 points out of him to catch Dan.
Well, and you know what? He had a wide open DJ Moore there in the fourth and couldn't hit him for a touchdown. So this week, NFL games, Commanders at the Packers tomorrow night, 3.5-point favorite. Green Bay is at home.
Game.
That ought to be entertaining.
Hey, that's my pick of the week. I've got a 3-team parlay pick of the week. Take over in the Washington Green Bay game, 48.5. Taking Washington plus the points. And Buffalo minus 7.5 against the Jets.
Okay.
3-team parlay. Washington, Buffalo, Washington over. Okay.
That's Dan's locks of the week.
Okay. Danny Handpace 3-team parlay. I like it.
We won't go through all the games, but some of the ones that I think are of interest. Sunday at noon, Bears at Lions. Lions are 5.5-point favorite. They didn't look very good in their first game without Ben Johnson, their old offensive coordinator. They may take that out on Ben Johnson now as Chicago Bears head coach. Browns at the Ravens. Ravens are 11.5-point favorite. That seems a little high, doesn't it?
It's a lot of points for NFL.
Yeah,
a lot of points.
absolutely.
They about got Cincinnati. I thought Cincinnati was going to let everybody down week 1 again, but I
Murph,
don't
what do you
know.
think of 325 kick on Sunday? The Eagles going to Arrowhead are a 1.5 favorite over the Chiefs.
It wouldn't shock me at all if the Chiefs won that game. But if they don't, they didn't. I didn't think they looked really good opening night. I mean, they did. They're down to their 2 receivers, so that doesn't stretch the field for Mahomes. Kelsey's old. I don't know. We'll see if they can pull this out, then they're going to be right back in the mix. But
and Randy, I think this plays into the Raiders game too against the Chargers. Anytime I've gone to Brazil and came back, I've always really been tired for a while.
I like it.
Eagles and the Raiders have
the edge. Okay, yep. I like it.
The TV games, night games for the wrapping up the weekend. Sunday night is the Falcons at the Vikings. Minnesota's a 3.5-point favorite. Monday night doubleheader, as we talked about earlier, 6:00 game. Tampa Bay is at the Houston Texans. The Texans are a 2.5-point favorite at home. And then the 9:00 kickoff Monday night, the Chargers giving 3.5 to the Raiders. You taking the Raiders at home to cover that, Murph?
No, I have 2 picks in my Survivor League, and I took LA and won. I think it cost me $50 to get in, and I would gladly donate the $50 for a Raiders win and be 2-0. So it's going to be a tough game. If they win that game, I might start getting excited this year. So
finish up with some notes, injuries to watch for fantasy football. Sounds like Xavier Worthy may not be back until about week 4 or week 5 with the shoulder separation. Going to avoid surgery now and try to maybe brace it up and play. If you're a Brock Purdy owner, you probably will not have him not only this weekend, but maybe a few weeks. Yeah. I think it's a shoulder and a toe, or he's got a combination of things there.
Yeah.
And you definitely won't have George Kittle because he went on IR with a hamstring injury. What Kittle had like 4 catches and a touchdown in the first quarter. And then you see him over there with a hat on after that with a hamstring. Drake London, he had a ton of catches. Looks like he will try to play this weekend with an AC joint sprain. Waiver wires have probably run for everybody since it's Wednesday night. They usually run on Wednesdays for most leagues. But hopefully you got maybe Hollywood Brown for the Chiefs because he's about all that Mahomes has left. Had 16 targets last week. If these guys are still out there, go grab them. Harold Fannin Jr., the tight end for the Browns, he's a rookie. They really like him, and David Njoku is a free agent after this season, so it'll be Fannin's show going forward. And Dylan Sampson, the Browns running back, caught, I think, 6 or 7 passes out of the backfield. And, of course, they signed Quinshon Judkins, who ought to be able to go here in 2 or 3 weeks once he gets up to speed. So watch that Browns backfield. And then Quentin Johnston, the pain in the rear every year, third-year receiver for the Chargers, who you pick him up and play him, he doesn't do jack, and then you don't play him, he catches a touchdown and 5 catches. He was a popular waiver wire guy this week too. So as far as the games to watch and see who might go off, Cincinnati is home with Jacksonville. That could be a shootout. The Bengals didn't really get going with Burrow and Chase and Higgins last week. I think they do at home this week. Dak is home with the Cowboys against the Giants. That was a tough Eagles defense the Cowboys faced last week, and I think they'll have a little more luck with the Giants, except for that front for the Giants is really tough. Yeah. And then finally the Lions, I think they're going to unload offensively on the Bears. That could be a shootout too. I don't know what the over-under is on that, but I would say that's definitely probably an over game too with those two. So
which coach will we lose first this year? Dave Hall for the Giants or McDaniel for Miami?
Got to be McDaniel.
Yeah, I mean, he's probably got a week or two. If they go 0-3, he's gone.
And he's kind of squirrely anyway, so it'd be really easy to fire him, and stuff. But it should be a good football weekend, and you guys are headed to casino, so good luck with that. Dan, you have to be Danny Handpay again next week. Bring us some photos, some proof.
I hope.
Good luck to Grant up in his tournament. And Murph,
Yeah.
you said you're going where?
Downstream blackjack tournament this weekend.
Awesome. Good deal. Well, anything else to add, guys?
Not tonight.
I think we're good. I'm ready for another weekend of football.
Come back with some big wins and some big stories next week, okay?
All right.
All right,
See you
Scotty
next
P.
week on Ozarks Gambling Guru.
See ya.